Hello guys, hello everyone. Thanks for joining to this stream, and just I need to get confirmation that everything works properly, and we will start. Yes, it looks like. Okay. If you think something must be changed, improved, just write in comments in the chat. I will correct the sound, video, maybe video for better watching. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Dmitriy Lavrov. I'm a full-time trader, the founder of Tradunity, the project which helps to trade properly. And today is Monday, and we talk about different markets and about different trading opportunities. I need to remind you that I will share my personal opinion. Don't think that it is something like financial advice. No. Only you can be responsible for trading and for trading results. How we will work? I will start from crypto markets, and you have opportunity to write in the chat the markets which are interesting for you also, and I will make the short market overview for you based on your request. Also, if you are here just the first time, please subscribe to our channel. Click the bell just in order to get notification in time about new streams and video. And I hope you will get something interesting during this stream and during new videos and streams too. So let's start from Bitcoin, if you don't mind. We skipped the previous webinar, the previous stream during the previous week, and now I have some ideas which I just would like to share with you about possible market movements, in crypto. So maybe maybe this type of information will help you to increase your profits, or even maybe understand the market movements better. So let's start from Bitcoin, and now I suggest you to look at the weekly time frame, because the weekly time frame will provide us not so good signals if you are looking for just the continuation of the uptrend. The weekly time frame will provide you just more bearish signals. And first of all, just let's look at just the market movement, and we see after strong upward movement which we got during let's say since the beginning from the February of this year. Now the market looks much more bearish, and probably it's time to talk about the correction movement, which can also provide us interesting trading opportunities, but they will be in the future. Now we should be ready to see the fall into the main support zones, where the reversal signals will be good for possible buying. Sounds is good. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, very, very nice. So about the weekly time frame, we could see that the price reached, let's say, the local high at 13,850, where the market bounced from this resistance line. I would like to talk about 14,000 level as a resistance zone, where the price, where the upward movement was stopped and reversed, and we got just a reversal candlestick pattern, which can be called like a pin bar, and after that we just see we could see just attempts to continue their upward movement with the target at the local high, which the market provided us here. But these bullish candles, they were not so strong, and the markets continued moving lower and lower. So this combination of bullish and bearish candles now tells us more about that the market don't have power to move higher, and in this situation, without any solid fundamental support, without support from news, without just support from the community, from traders, investors, the market has much more chances to continue the falling, and it can be during several weeks or maybe even several months. So we must be ready to this, because if you have active long position, this correction movement, just on the one hand, it can be like a reason for fixing a part of profit, or you just can do nothing, because it is also possible if we talk about the long-term trading. If we talk about long-term trading, the market looks bullish in the long run because of fundamental analysis. The market looks bullish because of demand to these digital assets. So for the long run, I think we should be ready to see at least the attempt to reach the historical high at 20,000 level. And there is only one question: when it will be. It can be, of course, during this year, especially if we compare the fast growing from the beginning of 2019, how the market moves quickly from 3,000 zone up to 14,000 zone. So after some rest, the market can repeat just the same path, or the same movement, and just reaching 20,000 can be done even within several months. So I won't be surprised by this anyway. But also, just if we talk about if we want to talk about stable and solid trends, of course it's better to get just a correction movement, and first of all we have to look at the most interesting levels, which creates the support zone. As we talked before during our previous streams, we just marked important levels and zones based on simple moving averages and based on round numbers. So the most important zones for us will be the zone formed by 8,000 round number level, and simple moving average with 100 period. So if you if you don't understand why we use simple moving averages, just I will show you how the price just acted at this line, why we should rely on this line too when we talk about possible reversals. And for this we need just to move, just to look at the past performance, and we can see that in the past, in this case, the market was stopped in spite of this simple moving average was passed in 2014, the market stayed at this line and moved sideways. So the market, I can say that the market could see this simple moving average as the trend line, the support line. It was in the past. It was also in the past several times, like here in 2016, when the market first of all bounced from this simple moving average with the 100 period, like from the resistance line. After some time, after several weeks, the market could break it, and after that we could see it like the support line one more time. So time by time the market moved and could see this line as a trend line. In some cases it was the support line, in some cases it was the resistance line. So for the market we can use this line like a signal line, which can provide us a reversal signals. The same goes about simple moving average with 200 periods, which also acted like a support line in the past, especially if we talk about 2018, when the market dropped a lot and the market bounced from this line. Again, it was the combination of round number level, support level like at 3000 level, and simple moving average with 200 period. So just the same pattern we should expect also at 2008 at simple moving average with 100 period and 8000 level. Now we have the market which broke. But if we talk about the weekly time frame, we have the market which broke another important level, 10,000, and we have just the close price. The previous week was closed below this level, and it was just like an additional bearish signal telling us about the further downward movement. If we talk about the weekly time frame, now we can see that yes, the price is below 10,000, and just let's say the first step of the breaking below this level. If the next week give us just the close price above 10,000 level, if this week gives us the close price above 10,000 level, so it will change the situation one more time based on the weekly time frame, and we will need to talk about that probably the market is going to bounce from 10,000 and it will change the picture one more time. But now at this moment we have just an attempt to break this level and develop this breakout. We have just one small candle for today, like doji. What size, which shape we will have in 7 days, we will see. But now, let's say from if we look at the whole structure, we can see that it looks much more bearish than bullish, and the market is going to break and breaks now 10,000 level, important support zone. So also as additional information we can get from indicators, and especially if we talk about such indicators like RSI oscillator, it confirmed that the market was overbought, and we can draw just bearish divergence between RSI and the price. It is another bearish signal. Also we can see that the RSI line broke broke 70 level, and it is just another bearish signal. If we use just RSI indicator, it tells us that the market is going to continue the falling. Also, bearish signals can be provided by MACD histogram, which falls, and it is a bearish signal. And also MACD lines are going to reverse and start confirming the downward movement, like in this pattern. We should expect something like in this period of time. Of course, I don't want to tell you that we are going to make just a new low and break 3000 level, but still, it's possible to get such sort of downward movement, and we have some space for falling, and that is also important thing, that we have some space for falling, and it will be also logical in the whole bullish structure, in the whole bullish trend. If we look at the signals from indicators, yes, they also provide us bearish signals, and combining this information from indicators and combining information from the charts and price action, I should say that it's better to expect the falling than to continue the upward movement, because now we don't have any reasons from technical analysis side, and we don't have any solid reasons from fundamental analysis part. So our strategy can be simple. We wait for a possible deeper correction. We have to wait for possible reversal signals from important support zones. The first zone is at 8000 level, and simple moving average with 100 period. Also, we have another zone, but it won't be so strong now, but still in the past it was good, like 6000 level, where the market formed us a bottom in the past in 2018, and the same zone can be also a target for the market if we talk about the falling. So it can be like a really good and solid reversal zone for continuation, the further upward movement. In spite of this zone doesn't have any additional support line, maybe only a simple moving average with 50 periods based on the weekly time frame. Just even without it, 6000 level will be the perfect one for the correction movement, because it will be something like more than 50% of the previous upward movement as a correction movement. So from different points of view, 6000 level will be really solid and cool for correction movement as a target, and the perfect zone for opening long position if we talk about medium term trading, if we talk about long term trading. This zone will be able to provide us really interesting levels for opening or new position, or adding a new long position to the previous one. If we talk about deeper falling, of course it can be, but for this I guess we will need to get some solid news, negative news against the Bitcoin and crypto. And I would like to talk about the bullish trend until the price will stay above simple moving average with 200 period. If the price breaks this level, so for me it will be like a solid signal telling us about a trend reversal if we talk about the main trend, which now looks like bullish trend if we talk about the long run and weekly and monthly time frames. If we look at the daily time frame, we will see just a little bit another picture. We will see following. The market, let's say, broke the price broke one local support line, the price broke, tries to broke just another support line, and again it is bearish signals which follows the same direction like from the weekly time frame. Again, the market can continue the falling, and for this the price will need to break just this local support level at 9,000 level, which stopped the falling market. It was 17th of July, and the market fold reached this level, bounced, and we saw just the short-term upward movement. And now we see the second attempt to reach this level, 9,000 level, where the price action also will be important for us if we talk about, let's say, medium term, where the price can provide us, if the price bounces from this zone, we should be ready to see maybe a new attempt to reach, to start a new upward wave. For this, we can use the previous swing highs, this one for drawing. And this one for drawing the downtrend line, which can be again the signal line for us. If the market breaks this line, we should be ready to see the upward movement to 11,000 level, because we have this the second swing high at this level, where the price bounced from 11,000. So this time it can be like the same movement, or the movement to the higher levels at 12,000 zone. So let's say these two levels will be important and can be used for trading as a target. If we talk about short-term trading, if we talk about medium-term trading, we can use this breakout above the local downtrend line with close targets. For short-term trading, also the signal can be used, but don't forget that the market will have some space and potential for moving lower, and based on the weekly time frame, we have more bearish signals than bullish. So buying here, it's also possible, but with you must use also only the proper money management, without leverage trading, without investing all your capital based on the current signals and prices. Just it's possible to invest the part of your capital based on the breakout signals, and add more trade volume for the case if the market continues falling, and provide us better signals based on the lower time frame, based on the lower levels. So the bullish signal will be will become stronger if the price will break. Now we have the case when we talk about the price which is at 9,000 level. Let's mark it just with bold line. And also we have simple moving average with 100 period based on the daily time frame, which also gives additional support for the market, and it makes this zone stronger. So if we talk about just more bearish signals from the daily time frame, the market will have to break this resistance zone, and it will just confirm the strength of bears, and the 8,000 level will be reached after getting this breakout. For alternatives, we also can say that if this zone won't be passed, we can see the sideways movement. So it will be like the situation when the market don't have the market doesn't have strength for breaking important support lines and support zones, so like 9,000, or if we talk about the support zone based on the weekly time frame, it will be 8,000. And on the other hand, the markets don't have strength to continue the upward movement because there are no reasons for this. So it can be a good situation also for sideways movements, and the correction or the previous strong upward movements also can be realized like in the format of sideways movement. So the borders for such sideways movement will be between the bottom will be like 9,000, 8,000 levels, and the previous highs, the previous zone at 11,000 level, and let's say at 12,000 level. Based on this swing high, also we can use this zone to spot this zone. It will be a zone for the sideways movements until we get something positive for the Bitcoin, and the market will break this zone and continue a new and continue the uptrend movement with targets at higher levels, 15, 17, and probably 20,000 level. Or if the markets just get another negative news, we will see the falling with the breaking below 8,000 level and reaching 6,000 level and maybe lower levels. Now we have just the situation like the market becomes boring, as we don't have any news about it. If we don't see increase in the demand or supply for this market, so sideways movements will be also okay in such a situation. And again, if you want to trade only one market, probably now it's better to think about short-term trading, scalping based on lower time frames. But at the same time, it gives you additional risk because lower time frames provide more unpredictable movements, more strange movements, like in this case, when we see just movements without any logic. Market moves slowly downward, then we got several strong bullish candles, then again continuation of the sideways movement here, like in this part of the chart here, then again strong bullish candle, then again strong bearish candle, and it will be rather difficult to get some profit from such movements because of unpredictable nature of these movements. But still, it can be like an opportunity to do this. If we talk about long-term trading, it's better to wait for better signals based on the support zones which I mentioned, like 8,000, 6,000, or probably start buying from the current zones if we talk about investing and long-term trading. So now we don't have interesting signals for trading if we talk about Bitcoin. And also, I would like to talk with you and share with you the ideas about other markets like Ethereum and just join. Hello, everyone who joined right now. Just we talk about crypto, we talk about Bitcoin, and the first question. From Betwix TX, could this actually be a bull flag on the weekly chart? Let's look at this. Yes, just a second. it can be like it can be like a flag. It can be like a flag, but I don't like the size of candles. When we talk about flag patterns, it's better to get something with less volatility, which can be just more suitable for, let's say, such formats like where you can see the upward movement, then you see some type of consolidation in the narrow border. So it's why it is flag, because it looks like flag. Now you can see high tails, and it makes the whole picture, the whole pattern not so good, and that's why I don't want to talk about this pattern based on the weekly time frame. And also we don't have fundamental support, because what is it, a chart pattern like flag? It is the continuation chart pattern, and it means you have a solid trend. It can be the uptrend, it can be the downtrend. The market just reached some level, there is a consolidation, and a new wave in the direction of the previous trend. So let's say it can be like a reason. Let's say we played and the market was pushed upward based on positive news about different positive news about crypto, Bitcoin, that Fidelity was going to start their platform back, and so on. So it was just a hype that big money can join the market, and it pushed the price higher and higher, because the demand was increased step by step. Now, so the market played based on this news, and we need something new. We need just really solid news which can just again push the markets upward because of increasing the demand. And based on it, yes, if we get such a situation, we can call it like a flag, and it will be a really continuation pattern, chart pattern. So yes, after that probably yes. But again, maybe during several weeks, 2 or 3 more weeks, we get these movements in the borders of just not so wide price channel, descending channel, and it can be called also like a flag. But now I don't want to talk about the flag chart pattern, just only now, because of fundamental reasons and because of too wide and volatility markets which just can form this chart pattern. I mean, when zooming the chart, also can see several years on chart. If we talk about weekly chart, yes, with zooming, without zooming, you see if there is any chart pattern on the chart, good and solid, which can be used, you can see it everywhere, anywhere. If we try just to find something which looks like a pattern, it means that probably this chart pattern won't be so solid, won't be so reliable, and it is really good to get fake signals. And it doesn't matter what type of chart you use, because for us it is very important to get the market movement. We can use any type of chart, and it will be the same about if you can see something on the chart pattern, candlestick pattern, reversal candlestick pattern, you will see it anywhere. If you try just to find something what you want, it means that probably you have nothing on the chart at the same time. As for the current time frame, now it can be, in some cases, yes, it can be used like a flag, but for me I would like to skip it because of the reasons which I mentioned. Also, when we talk about technical analysis, especially such type of analysis, like chart patterns, like trend lines, support lines, levels, and resistance levels, we have to talk about just it is something like an art, and different traders can use it in these tools and description just in different ways. Like in this example, for me it's not a chart pattern because of just different reasons. I don't see it clearly, and I prefer to skip such patterns which just not so which are far from really good and maybe sometimes perfect examples, like in books. For someone, probably this variant of chart pattern like flag will be okay, and just only the time will show who will be right, and it is absolutely normal to have such a situation and discussion about such patterns. If you think Betwix, if you think that here you can get their continuation chart pattern, why not? It's okay. But also ask yourself, these markets, does it have fundamental support, and do you believe that the market will continue the upward movement within, let's say, maybe this month or the next month, and what are the reasons will be for this? Also, don't forget that the market made a really solid upward movement here, right? From 3,000 up to 14,000, and this movement looks like becomes just looks like this this movement in 2017, and there are no markets which can be stable with such strong movements in one direction. If you get the price movement in one direction from just 1,000 to 20,000, don't be surprised to see the correction movements like also deep on 70%, 80%. Do you think such market movement will be good for the community and for crypto, the whole crypto, and for Bitcoin also? Will it be good just to repeat the same pattern which we get in 2017, 2018? So if the market continues the price, the upward movement without, let's say, solid deep correction to 8,000, 6,000, we have really cool chances to get the same structure, which in one day will bring us to the next falling after that. So that's why there are no reasons, and I guess that nobody want why the price for any market moves upwards, because there are people and there are traders, there are companies who decide to buy now because they know that in some time the market, let's say the true value of this coin, I don't know, currency, gold and something like this, that the price of this will be higher in the future. So they buy, so buy and push the market higher. It was logical to see here the same behavior, because the market dropped a lot. We could get some positive news. It means that the price for Bitcoin will be higher in the future. So it was a reason to buy from this zone, this, and buy and push the market higher and higher based on that situation and based on that news. Now, what we have in this zone, just more unpredictable situation, less fundamental support, less technical support, and that's why it can be just the reason that the market that we have more chances to see the correction movement. It can be like the continuation of the downward movement to 8,000, 6,000 level, or the sideways movement until the situation will be changed again one more time. So that's why think about the chart pattern like flag, but don't be surprised to see the falling and that this chart pattern won't be so good and workable like you expected. You could expect. So about Bitcoin, if you have any questions about Bitcoin based on maybe different time frames, just write in the chat. I will provide you. I will share with you my ideas. As for just the current situation and the current time frames, weekly and also daily and hourly, 1 hour time frames, I shared with you my opinion. Only just I am ready to discuss with you, and maybe we can use different tools for analysis. As for another markets, I want to talk with you about Ethereum, as it is the second market, important market, where we see also interesting movements. As we have, let's also look at the weekly time frame. What do you think about IOTA and now? Yes, we will talk about it. Okay, Stuart, let's look at the Bitcoin based on 4 hour time frame. But again, I need to tell you that 4 hour time frame can provide you bullish signals, but at the same time, don't forget that higher time frames like weekly time frame and the daily time frame are more bearish, and the higher time frames will be able to push the market in that direction than lower time frames. If we look at the 4 hour time frames, we just got the confirmation about the trend reversal. If we use just only simple moving averages with different periods, we got the price movement and bouncing from 9,000 level. It is support now. So from that market movement, now we see that 9,000 is an important level for the market. Also, we can just use, just in order to make it the line better, we can use these swing highs for drawing the downtrend line. And if we talk about bullish signals, for us it's important to get the breakout above this downtrend line. So let's say if we talk about short-term trading, it's possible to wait for bouncing from the support line 9,000. It can be done. We can use the signals from the 1 hour time frame, maybe from 30 minutes, 15-minute charts. Try to catch this bouncing and the upward movement to the downtrend line. So it can be only short-term trading. As a variant, it's possible to add more trade volume based on the breakout about this local downtrend line, and the target will be the previous swing highs, let's say at if we talk about 4 hour time frames, it can be targets at 11,000 and 12,000. But at the same time, if the market bounces from this level, from the downtrend line, local downtrend line, and breaks 9,000 level, be ready to see the fall into 8,000. And also here also we'll just get another confirmation that the market is not ready to continue to reverse and continue the upward movement. So don't forget that there is just a situation mainly when you have signals confirming the other direction. It means that in our case, if we get bearish signals confirming the falling, It means that the market doesn't have any solid arguments, reasons, and support for moving upwards. So any bearish signals just will add more strength to for the downward movement. In this case, just if we talk about short-term trading, probably it is just a possible idea to use the daily, to use 4-hour time frame, to use the main downtrend line based on this time frame. It is just this line, and use lower charts like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour for catching possible reversal from support zone with close targets, or just wait for breakouts based on low time frames. Use that signals and open short-term positions. Just some words about Ethereum. Let me finish with it. Also, we have just the situation if we talk about a weekly time frame. The market reached also important round number level, support level 200, where we just a second, we don't have Bitstamp. Okay, we don't have, we can't see lines. Okay, without lines, we have still some space for the falling. And if we compare Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ethereum made deeper correction, and now we see this zone, which will be important for the market, and it is formed by the main uptrend line and the round number level 200. So bouncing from this will provide us just possible entry signals for buying, but the breakout below this, it will push the market lower to probably even to 100 level and below, because the trend line, the uptrend line, will be broken, and it will provide us really strong bearish signals and signals confirming the trend reversal. So at the same time, if we look at the daily time frame, we will see also possible buy opportunities from the current zone formed by the daily time frame. Provide us just more solid zone formed by 200 period simple moving average 200 round number level, and the local support line from the weekly chart. So altogether these lines forms a really solid zone, support zone. So let's say if Bitcoin won't, if Bitcoin doesn't drop too much, just reach 8,000 level, or maybe just shortly touch 6,000 level, Ethereum will be able to repeat this movement for Bitcoin, but stay above this main uptrend line. For the market, for the bullish trend, it will be very important. In other case, we will have maybe another bearish period for altcoins. So think about your positions. Think about just one more time. What will you do if the market continues the falling? I hope you had a plan before opening and buying this altcoin. So you will need to decide before a possible falling, what should you do? How will you manage your long positions? If the price breaks this important support zone, just let's say simple moving average with 200 period for Ethereum based on the daily time frame, and the weekly uptrend line, they are the signal lines and levels telling us about the bullish trend if the price stays above, and they will tell us about trend reversal if the price breaks below them. As for as for in other markets like IOTA and NEO, let's look at them. just remind you one more time. We discuss and talk a lot about, when we talk about crypto, it's better to invest in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is more solid. It has more potential for upward movement, and I try to explain my position and provide just arguments why it's better to invest only in Bitcoin, and let's say ignore absolutely shit coins, and probably don't invest too much in altcoins. Here is just a very good situation. You see, just compare. We have the daily time frame, right, for IOTA, and we have the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Bitcoin just corrected the previous upward movement, and it is still made good upward movement if compared with the starting point, which was not far from 3000 level. If we talk about altcoins, Ethereum just made less upward movement, and now it is also corrected to the. It is corrected, just provided us a deep correction movement, and the price is not far from that bottom at 100 level. If we look at IOTA, we see that yes, the market tried to develop the upward movement, but now the price is not far from the bottom, the starting point, which was let's say at 0.20, 0.25, and now the price moved back to the previous starting point. What does it mean? It means that if Bitcoin continues falling, probably you will see here a new lows. It will be just the same story. When Bitcoin moves upwards, some markets can follow them, some markets can move sideways. If Bitcoin falls, all markets follows Bitcoin, because of strong correlation and because of high capitalization of Bitcoin, if we talk about the whole crypto world. So in this case, if Bitcoin continues falling, it means this support zone formed by solid support levels between 0.20 0.25, we will have good chances to see the breakout and new fall into the previous lows, which can be, you see, we have space for falling. So now the market is at solid support zone, but the breakout will provide really strong bearish signals. At the same time, how to trade? Just it's possible just to invest based on possible bouncing from this strong support zone. I would like to use this market only with stop orders only, which should be placed below just 0.20 only. And if the market continues falling and breaks 0.20, just close all position and watch for this market and wait where the market will provide us new reversal signals and where will be the new bottom. Also, it's possible just to use reversal signals from this support zone, or it's also like a variant. It's possible to use, let's say, these swing highs for drawing the local downtrend line and buy based on the breakout above this local downtrend line, and again also use stop orders. This market shouldn't be used without stop orders. If we talk about Bitcoin, in some cases, yes, you can. If we talk about investing in the long run, yes, why not? Sometimes with the right risk management, with the right proper management, you can, and without leverage trading, you can just buy without stop orders. But such markets, high risky markets, they must be traded only with stop orders. So About Yota, nothing more to add. And about Neo, we will see. I guess we will see closely the same picture. Not closely, but let's say again, the price reached important support zone. This support zone is formed by simple moving average with 200 periods. It is formed, it is not far from 10 level, round number level. The price is at the main uptrend line. Also, if we talk about chart patterns, just draw your attention here. We can talk about a pennant chart pattern, which also belongs to a continuation group of chart patterns, where the breakout below this below these lines will provide us just strong bearish signal telling us about the continuation of the falling of the previous price movement, and the previous price movement was downward. So if the market breaks this support zone formed by the main trend line, simple moving average, and if if the price breaks the main uptrend line and simple moving average, the market will have chances to continue the sideways movements of just bouncing from 10 level, and it will be the most positive variant for investors for this coin. But also, if the price breaks these two important levels, let's say zone formed by 10 and 9 levels, just be ready to see the falling again to the previous lows at 7, 5.50. And again, here we have the situation, we have the market where Bitcoin still has potential for falling, and this market is already reached important support zone. So let's say if we talk about the continuation of the uptrend, here the market doesn't have space for falling, but at the same time the main market of crypto still has space for falling. If so, Bitcoin will fall, and still we can be able to talk about bullish trend for Bitcoin in the long run. But this market, we should talk about a trend reversal and probably sideways movements, or the starting a new bearish trend. Be careful, and also for this market and for any other altcoins, especially shitcoins, you have to use stop orders, even if you think that the signals are solid. Fundamental analysis for this coin or that coin is also solid. Anyway, you have to use stop orders, because such type of markets are risky, and they can provide more troubles, especially if you don't know how to manage your capital properly, how to manage your risk properly. These markets will be perfect for making drawdowns on your account. Any ideas on Tethers? Stuart, I have no ideas about Tethers. If you can provide Tethers Bitcoin, if you can provide just, I hope Tethers against USDT. If you think this market is right, just XTZ USDT. So here is just again the market where the price reached also important support zone formed by simple moving average. Again, if compared with it has just closed the same structure like Neo market, where the price is at important support zone formed by, in this case, also simple moving average. We can draw a new line support line something like at 0.85. Support line based on this swing highs lower. So let's say the price action at this zone between 0.90 0.85 will tell us the further market movement. The breakout will change the trend direction here, and you should be ready to see the fall into the previous lows at, let's say, 0.60, 0.60, just the previous interesting support zone, which can be, and 0.30, and even maybe, yes, 30, 40, sorry. So it will be the previous bottom. So if Bitcoin continues falling, this market will have good chances to reach the bottom and provide us a trend reversal signals, and the market will need much more time for reversal from bearish into bullish and provided signals and trade opportunities for buying. Also, it's possible just try to catch, because we don't know exactly. Bitcoin can continue the upward movement. Of course it can. Even if we have more chances to see the falling, we don't have 100% solid signals, and we don't have the crystal ball, which can tell us only one direction. We should be ready to see just possible movements in both directions. And let's say for bearish movement for Bitcoin, I would like to just to use maybe 65%, and for the upward movement I would like to use like 35%, but still 35% it is good chances to for upward movement. Even if 5%, it's also possible to move against the most logical direction. So if Bitcoin continues movements, the current levels probably also will be possible for buying, but again, this market must be used only with stop orders. In this case, stop orders must be placed below the local swing lows, and in this case we also have double bottom, but this chart pattern, reversal chart pattern, will be confirmed only if the price breaks this swing high between these two bottoms. Only in such way we can talk about this chart pattern like about the reversal pattern. But before it, we can try to catch the bouncing from 0.3085 level, or just if you want to get more solid signal, again, it's better to wait for a breakout of this local downtrend line. And based on the breakout, only small part of your capital, only with stop orders, and trade only in such way. In other cases, you can get these markets in your portfolio, which will provide you not so positive results. Even if these markets, if we talk about shitcoins and altcoins, they also can have positive news, but again, I'm not sure that they will show you good positive upward movement if Bitcoin continues falling, deeper falling, because if Bitcoin breaks below 8,000 and reach 6,000, probably there will be panic sales, and it can also still it can push the markets even lower, maybe in short term, but still it can be. So if Bitcoin just shows such falling, this market will drop much more. So about this market, I hope I provided you some ideas. As for other markets, just please write them in chat. Maybe not only about crypto, maybe you are interested in other markets. I would like to talk about with you about let's say we talk about crypto markets. Let's look at commodities, and we have interesting market like gold, which can provide possible trading opportunities. So we have the situation, also the market made a really strong upward movement, which made a really strong upward movement and reached just local high at 1450. And at the same time, we got several bearish signals based on divergences between prices and indicators. And in this case, we have just two swing highs, high highs, and RSI provided us bearish divergence. Let's say MACD lines also provides us bearish divergence, and just let me show you. MACD lines also just, yes, we can use it for divergences too. We have just divergences, and DMI with ADX line, which falls now, provides us just the signals that the market, that bulls are not so strong. We got bearish signals, and probably it is just the question of time when the market also fall, because such strong upward movements should be corrected, and the falling after strong price movements and or rising after strong downward movements, just it is normal, and it is just the part of market movements. Just in order to be sure that the market is going just to move lower, it's better to wait for a breakout below this, let's say, the local uptrend line, and use the breakout signal for selling. Just also, it's better to wait for a breakout below zero, round number level 1400 level. It will be like additional signal telling us about the correction movement, and the market will be able to reach the previous solid support zone formed by 1360, 1350 level. It will be the zone for possible reversal, and if you short this market, this zone will be the main for profit targets. Or it will be possible if the market just tries one more time to reach the previous high. We will be able to get this double top, and also it can be possible. It will be possible to use the reversal signal and short from the resistance level. So this market looks interesting, and for buying it's not good, because for buying you need to use another type of signals, like just the breakout here could be used for buying. Now it's time for fixing profit from these long positions, and or to think about shorting the market, trying to catch the correction movement. Also, don't forget, if we talk about trading using CFD contracts, CFD instruments, contracts for difference, and if we use leverage, we must use stop loss orders and proper risk management. In other cases, even if the signal will be good, with the wrong risk management, with the wrong trade volume, you will have good chances to blow up any size of account. Also, let's look at the indexes which continues making just new highs, historical highs. Here is we have S&P 500, and just the market continues the upward movement. It breaks this local swing high, but at the same time it looks like the buyers are not so strong, and again, this market is better to try to catch a correction movement and make some profit on the falling, than just try to catch the market which looks really overbought and just try to buy it. For catching possible short opportunities, I would like also to use simple technical analysis tools like trend lines, and just simply buy based on the breakouts, based on the let's say trend reversal signals. If price breaks this uptrend line, if price drops below 3000 level, it can give us a signal telling us about the further downward movement, and these breakouts can provide short opportunities and short signals. Also, indexes should be traded with stop loss orders and with proper risk management. The same goes about Nasdaq. The same goes about Dow Jones. Also, we can use the same style of trading, the downtrend line, the uptrend line, and the breakout below it. For short-term trading with stop orders about the local swing highs, and profit targets at important support levels and support zones. Also, this market is not good for buying, but it is possible for selling. The same goes about let's say Dow Jones, where we have also a possible short setups for selling. Again, the same type. All this market made historical highs, new historical highs, and it means the market looks overbought. Also, they made good upward movements, and just catching a correction movement looks logical, and it can be really profitable. But again, with stop orders and proper risk and money management. If you want to look at another market, just let me know. By the way, just let me know in the chat. By the way, silver market also looks interesting for shorting, because it is made huge and strong upward movement, and again, this movement should be corrected. And why any market movements must be corrected? Because let's say just who bought based on reversal breakout signals, they will need to fix profit, and after such strong movements they start fixing profit, so they start selling here. The market just starts providing reversal signals. They sell more, and new traders who just want to sell, they start joining these reversal signals, and the market starting the movement against the previous trend or the price market movement. So in this case also the market looks overbought. We get these signals from RSI, which where the line is in the overbought zone. We can see that the market is overbought also by the price action and the distance between the average price and the current price. So the market has space for the falling, and it can be used for just as a possible trade opportunity. It will be possible to use lower time frames for better entry levels, like in this case we can see the sideways movement in the borders of we in the borders of probably not triangle. Yes, I don't think it is a good triangle. No, it's not triangle, and it's not the price channel too. Just only the sideways movement where the price it can be like also a correction movement if we talk about 4-hour time frame, where we have the uptrend. And yes, here for example we can use the 4-hour time frame and bearish divergence, which we have with prices RSI and MACD. And it's possible to buy based on the breakout below this local uptrend line or the support line at 16.20. So all these breakouts can be used for selling with the profit targets at 15.50 level or even at 15 level. The market has space for falling, and it can be interesting for at least watching for this market. As for other markets, let's look at the chart. What do you think about Daniel Min asked about OMG USD as a trading market? The high volatility is appealing. If we talk about just such market like OMG or MSGO, if I'm not mistaken, yes, here it is. Just the same story. We talk about the same. No, it's not the same. If we talk about just the same markets like Bitcoin and altcoins, again, the same behavior can be used even with this market. Risky market, the market will be able to make and reach the previous bottom and starting point of the previous uptrends. Movements, and again it will follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls, this market will fall too, and probably it will make deeper falling than it was in 2018. We talk about now. We talk about the second market. If I'm not mistaken, it was. Was another market, I don't remember. Tether, yes, where we had the structure and to my mind Ethereum too, where the market reached just important support zone, and it was close to simple moving average 200. This market just broke it, and if we talk about this market now, we can't talk about bullish trend. This market had bullish trends. Let's say, first of all, let's make it clear. We can use different tools for just for deciding in which direction the market moves. Sometimes just the most simple way is to use moving averages. If you are lazy, if you don't want to draw something, you just use drawing tools like moving averages, and if you read about how to use them and which signals you can get from moving averages, you will just get one of several signals where you will read. If the price is above this line, it means you have the bullish trend. If the price is above moving average, you have a bearish trend. So in this case, if we talk about simple moving averages, solid trend moving averages, they are, we can use let's say 20 with period 20, but it will be for short-term trends only. We can use 50, it will be something like for medium-term trend. We can use 100, 200 simple moving averages for different sorts of long-term trends. In this case, in this market, the price broke 100 moving average with 100 period, and the price broke 200 periods moving average. So if we use simple moving averages or exponential moving averages, any moving averages as a tool which can tell you in which direction the market moves, you have trend reversal. So you don't have the uptrend, and it looks like you can face with the sideways movement, or you can face with a new bearish trend. Also, we can use simple technical tools like trend lines. In this case, I just use this main line, trend line, like the line describing us the trend direction. Again, we use it in simple way. If the price is above the trend line and the trend line moves from bottom upwards, we have an uptrend. If you draw the descending downtrend trend line, it is the downtrend line, and If the price is below it, we have a bearish trend. Here we have just again the situation. We had the uptrend here, here, boom. In this zone, the price broke the uptrend line, and it gave us a trend reversal signal. If so, we don't have the bullish trend. We can have the sideways movement, or we can have the beginning of a new bearish trend. And just remind you, the same setup we can expect from Neo, from Tether, and from Ethereum too, if Bitcoin continues falling. This market is already just showed us a trend reversal signal, and what does it mean? It means that if we don't have the bullish trend, we should be ready to see the downtrend, especially if Bitcoin just made some movement and the price will reach 1.0 level, support level. It was the previous bottom. Just remind you, it was the beginning of 2019 when the market bounced and confirmed the trend reversal and continued and started a new uptrend. So now we have just again the trend reversal signal, and the nearest target will be this 1.0 level. And again, if the market breaks this zone, so I guess we will see a strong downward movement to the probably 0.50 to any other swing lows, important lows, or we can use just round numbers levels for targets. And that's why this market doesn't look so solid. This market doesn't look so interesting. If we talk about just only technical analysis, based on technical analysis, it is not far from the previous bottom. If the fundamental news and fundamental analysis is positive for this project, if we don't count Bitcoin as the main market of the crypto, yes, this market is good for investing. Why not? But if we just combine all information and how markets moves, how markets, other markets like shitcoins and altcoins move following Bitcoin, this market does not look like very interesting at all. It looks like a very risky market for investing. So be careful if you want to do something with this coin. Again, it's possible to buy, but only with stop orders below 1.0 level, and if the price breaks it, it's better to exit from positions, because the market will be able to drop a lot. I see. Do you think Ripple is in the same situation? Let's look at it. And Ripple was boring before it, when even Bitcoin continued and made new local highs and showed and confirmed us the uptrend. Ripple moved in price channels sideways with just attempts to start a new uptrend. And just remind you, Ripple was boring even in 2017, mainly. If you move back, just without touching this amazing upward movement, it also was like the market moving sideways. So it looks like the nature of Ripple moves sideways with just sometimes strong price movements. Yes, we got this strong upward movement, and we got the falling after that. The same goes about the current situation. We have the price movement which reached the bottom. And what we can expect here, just only the continuation of the sideways movement in the borders of the price channel between 0.30 and 0.40 25, like the additional support line, with the upward border at 0.50. Let's say if we just look at this market, and if we use only technical analysis, we can see the market which reached the bottom, the market which moves in the price channel. Just it can be we can discuss the borders, because also the border can be 0.37 or higher, or something like this. Or if we talk about the wider price channel, just I would like to talk about 0.50 also, because it is the round number level. If we look at this market just only based on the technical analysis, the price is at the bottom of the price channel, and the reversal signal here can be used for buying with based on the reversal signals, with targets at this resistance level and these resistance levels. And this buying could be done based on, for example, this reversal which we got here. Also it can be done based on the reversal here, and only with stop orders only, because again the Bitcoin has space for falling. If Bitcoin continues falling, Ripple is just reached the main bottom. Let's say the local minimum was 0.25 in the September of 2018, but the main bottoms which we could see for this market, the main bottom, it's better to use 0.30. So now the price is at this bottom, and if Bitcoin falls, it means the market can continue the falling to the lower levels, and again we will talk about 0.20, maybe 0.10 levels if Bitcoin makes deep correction. So this market also can be used with high risky trades, with stop loss orders, with proper money management only. Again, proper money management, it means you shouldn't invest a lot in this market, in this risky market. If you prefer to trade using just markets with better potential and better potential profit, it means you use high risky markets. If you use high risky markets, it means you must diversify your risk by adding more markets in your trading portfolio and investing not like maybe 20-50% in one risky market. It's better to invest maybe 5% in such type of markets, but investing in 5-10 markets. But still having the space for having free money for more reliable and solid markets for better diversification. And of course you must be ready, and you must have a plan what to do if your risky markets will start movements against you. What should you do in this case? You must know it before it will happen. It will be really very important if you want to protect your capital, and if you want to exit from wrong positions as soon as possible. So about this market, just provided you my ideas. Any other markets, just based on your opinion, which can be interesting? You can see that a lot of crypto markets, they have closely the same structure and position, and from okay, if we talk about just I guess MBTN, it is stock market as far as I remember. Yes, just a second. We will look at it too. MBTN. Again, just based on this stock market, I will explain you the possible movements from crypto. So we talk about several crypto markets, including Ripple, including OmisGo, including Neo, where the price is not far from previous bottoms, important support levels, and so on. And I told you about possible buying based on the reversal signals from these support zones, bottoms, as a variant. Not always such ideas can be profitable. Not always. Even if support zone looks very solid and you think it is bottom, it doesn't mean that the market only can bounce from it. It can break it. It can break it also and continues the fall. Even if the market will looks like oversold, there are no reason and blah blah blah. Anyway, you must be ready to see possible movement against your position. Here, we had the situation when the market just dropped a lot. You can see that it was the bearish trend. The price reached the local bottom here. In the past, it was 2018 bounced, bounced 3 times, and from that period of time, we got just understanding that 0.50 it is a solid support zone, and buying from this zone can be really interesting and logical, idea. But we got a new attempt and the price reached this zone again in the beginning of July, and the reversals could be used for buying. So why not? We have solid support zone which was confirmed by the previous price action of this zone, and also fundamental factors were not so bad, and they didn't play against these markets strongly. Also, the markets dropped a lot. It looks like oversold based on RSI, which reached the oversold zone below 30 level, and we could use buying based on the first reversals, first let's say bullish candles. Again, we could buy it based on the reversal. If we needed more solid signals with just more signals, just confirming the strength of bulls, we should use the local downtrend line, like I showed you with indexes. And the breakout above this line could give us trading opportunity, and in such way we just we could buy based on the breakouts above this line with more signals, bullish signals. So the first signals could be like the price bounces from the support zone, solid support zone, and the next signal is the price breaks the local downtrend line, and it means we have a trend reversal signal, and it is just additional bullish signal. So based on these two signals, we could buy. In this case, if you just buy using reversal signals, you are in the market with the wrong position, and the market continues falling. What does it mean? It means that if you buy here, you had to put your stop loss order below the important support zone. So the price breaks it, and there are no reasons to stay with long position, because your previous idea to buy based on the reversal from the support zone doesn't work anymore. If it doesn't work anymore, why you need to stay with this wrong position? You need to close them as soon as possible and wait for new trading opportunities. If you wanted to get more signals confirming the strength of buyers, you should wait for the breakout about the local downtrend line. There is no breakout, and it means you don't have position. So you just a variant why sometimes it's better also to get additional signals even if you skip some part of movement, but you will be able to get just a little bit more solid signal and with better confirmation. So based on this market, now the market falls and we need to wait for more signals from this market, because where it will be the new bottom, and try to trade, try to buy based on it. It looks like this level can be workable too. If we talk about just this swing lows at, let's say, 0.40 from 2016, it can be used like a new support level, and it looks like that's all. Yes, it was the lowest. It was the lowest price since, let's say, for 10 years. Yes, I don't have more statistic. So if we, let's say, if we talk about this market, of course it is good for buying if we talk about long-term trading. As far as I remember, this market it is good for it is about alternative energy, and if so, if I'm not mistaken, they're just long-term trading and long-term investing can be really profitable with these shares, because if the company stays in the market. It reached maybe the lowest level since the beginning of 2000s, and buying based on such prices, it can be a good investment. At the same time, if you want to get just additional confirmation that the price is going to move upward and the bearish trend, now we have the bearish trend again, the bearish trend will be changed. It's better to wait for the upward movement above 0.50, and it's better to wait for such breakout above the local downtrend line, simple moving averages, and buy based on breakout signals if you want to get solid signals for confirming the strength of buyers and the new bullish trend. So from Digger Clouds, let's look at Litecoin, and let's do it Litecoin. We have just again closely the same situation, but again, if we use simple moving averages, like you're welcome about these shares, and if we use just only simple moving averages for understanding the trend direction in Litecoin, the price is above a simple moving average with 200 period, and yes, the market still bullish, but at the same time the price is close to the latest important line, which still confirms the bullish trend. If Bitcoin continues falling, this line will be broken, and you will see the same situation like with Omis Go, and it will be a trend reversal signal. If we use just only trend lines, so we already have the trend reversal, because the price broke the trend line here, bounced from it and confirmed like the resistance line, and now we have the market with good potential for falling. If the price breaks this simple moving average, which just only one line, X for place for buyers and bullish trend, if the price breaks this line, so after that we can talk about sideways movements for this market, probably between 50 and 110 levels in the price channel, or even the continuation and reaching the previous lows at 25, 20, like it was in 2018 in the December. The low is the bottom. This market again also will depend on Bitcoin and Bitcoin's movements. Now the price is at support level, but it doesn't look like the market which can be good for investing. Ethereum has interesting and good fundamental factors for investing. Litecoin, like a copy of Bitcoin, looks like a market. The same goes about Ethereum Classic. Yes, you have this coin, but for what? And yes, we have Litecoin, but for what? Of course, you can talk about advantages if compared with Bitcoin, but it looks like it is only my opinion. This market, like Ethereum Classic, like Bitcoin Cash, they looks like useless markets without strong fundamental support in the long run. If we talk about projects which just use exact coins, and this project can be developed in the future, and yes, as a result, these coins also can have positive fundamental reasons for investing. But Litecoin, it's just like an additional coin which can be used or which can be not used, and that's why it gives additional risks, and probably it's better to wait for really solid signals and invest not for the long run, but maybe for medium term, try to catch some movements, and just maybe use a small part of your capital only. This market now does look really interesting, even if the price continues just the upward movement. There are too much risks to see the falling and reaching the nearest support zone after breaking this trend line will be 50. Probably from this level it will be possible to think about investing some time of money, because it was let's say, based on this movement in the past. For Bitcoin, 6,000 level is the target level for falling, and the most solid for reversal and for buying. For Litecoin, 50 level will be such level for investing and buying. Based on it, yes, maybe if the market will reach this zone, it will be possible to think about investing, but not now. Not now, definitely. So about other markets, like from Maxi, Tesla, gold, silver. Maxi, we talk about silver and gold. The markets look overbought, and they can be used for possible shorting. Just we talk about it maybe 15-20 minutes ago. As for Tesla, let's look at the Tesla market, and yes, what we have now. The market come from the trend reversal. So if we talk about it before, and this market time by time we talk about Tesla market during these streams, the possible entry level for buying, we could do it based on reversals from the second light of the descending price channel, based on the reversal, and because the market also was oversold and provided us just possible buy opportunity. Also, we could buy based on the breakout about the 200 level, round number level, and as a possible variant. It was an opportunity to buy based on the breakout and trend reversal when the price moved above the main trend line in this zone. But here we had the resistance zone formed by 240 250 levels, which also supported by a simple moving average with the 100 period. And this zone looks solid, and this zone was not so good for buying. Even we got a trend reversal signal. And as we can see now, the market made upward movement, passed through this resistance zone, and we saw a gap, which again pushed the price lower, and now we have what? We have the market which stays below 240 level, and it stays below the strong support resistance zone. What does it mean? It means that again we need something solid for passing this zone, and this zone is not good for buying because the market has space for falling and reaching 200 level. If so, it will be possible to buy based on this level and reversal from this zone. Because this zone also will be interesting. It will be supported by round number level, support level, and the main downtrend line of the descending price channel. Buying here will be reasonable and possible. Buying below the resistance zone looks like not so interesting and not so good. And also, I draw your attention one more time. I become more and more like a fan of day trading for stock markets because of such gaps. If we talk about positional trading, when you need to just stay with active trades, with active positions, day by day, you have high risk. You increase risk just to catch such gap and get not so good results at all, because even if you use stop order something like here, and the market will provide you a gap, you will be closed by lower prices. So it also breaks your risk management plan and strategy. So that's why I would like to think about trading, stock trading, just based on the daily time frame, not based on the daily time frames, based on intraday time frames, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 1 hour, and just close and fix profits or exit from trades just within one trading session. Of course, it's possible to use long-term trading, but it's better to just include such possible gaps in your risk management plan, and just don't be surprised if one day you will see such type of gaps, and which will change your trading results and make them not so nice. So about Tesla, it's better to wait for a deeper falling and probably buy based on the reversal from solid support zone formed by the downtrend line of the price channel and 200 level. So any other markets for discussion? So if there are no more markets, if you don't have any more questions, well, I just need to remind you, I shared with you only my personal opinion. Don't use it like financial advices, because I didn't share with you financial advices. I share with you just my ideas about possible trading opportunities and possible market movements. You should make your own research. You should just make this type of work in order to, on the one hand, to grow your experience, your trading skill, and on the other hand, just to understand better how to trade in markets using different sort of information, and how to be responsible for your trading results. From Roman Hertz. Svarnava, we talked about Ethereum. As for Ethereum, Bitcoin, we didn't talk about it, so let's talk about this market. And from Roman Hertz, you mean it's a company, right? You would like to see, if I'm not mistaken. Just please correct me if I'm wrong. As for Ethereum, Bitcoin, what we can see the downtrend movement based on the daily time frame. Let's say we have the local support zone at 0.020. We have just the market which moves slower. We can use this downtrend line, and what else? It's not time for selling, definitely, because the market dropped a lot without any correction, but probably it is possible to think about buying with stop orders below this local swing low, this one. So stop loss here, and use the breakout for buying with first profit target at 0.025. and the second profit targets at let's say simple moving average with the 100 period, with 200 period can be like take profits number 2, take profit number 3. For selling also, it's better to wait for the upward movement if we want to sell, and wait for reversals from moving averages or the resistance lines like 0.25, 0.30. Now it's time to do nothing and just wait for the market, watch for the market, wait for a possible breakout for buying and reversals for selling. About Hertz company, let's just look at it now, and after that we will look at Apple shares. Hertz. Hertz Global Holding. Just no trend, sideways movement, range market, and what we can say? We can say we can spot the borders for the market. It can be the nearest border, and it can be like additional border, the bottom. And if we talk about the upper borders, they will be at, let's say, something like this. The price channel formed by resistance zones, formed by the resistance levels like 20, round number level, like 21, it can be enough. And the bottom levels, which also form the support zone, they are 14 and let's say 13. What does it mean? It means in this with this market we have to use the rules for trading in price channels, and these rules are simple. You buy from bottom and fix profit and sell from the top. That's all. You can see that the market just bounce from the bottom. We can say that also we could use the downtrend line, local downtrend line. You can be able to draw it also based on 4-hour time frames, 1-hour time frames, and use that signal, breakout signal about the downtrend line, like a signal for buying. Or just you can use the daily time frame, and the entry level could be, if we talk about this market, just it could be like 15.75 or 16, like the zone for buying. With stop orders, of course, it's better to place stop orders here, and profit targets like at the 20 level. Or if you want just to allow the market continue the possible downward movement, and it will be still in the borders of the price channel, you can put your stop loss below 13 level, just in order to avoid such possible short-term fallings below 14 and still be in the market. This market looks interesting for buying only, not for selling, and again it looks like the market will continue the sideway movement until there will be any fundamental news and factors which can just change the sideway movement into the downtrend or the uptrend. Also, if we talk about just long-term trading, it looks like the market interesting for investing, because it was the period of falling, the period of bearish trends. Then the market could find the bottom, and now the price is not far from that bottom. Yes, we had the low price at 0.80 or even 50. Yes, it can be like just additional target for a case if the price breaks 13 level and falls and continues falling. This zone at 8.50 will be the target for this, but it looks like it will be the lowest price for also for, yes, let's say for 10 years. If we talk about just investing in the company, such markets can be really interesting, and at least they should be added into your watch list if you search for interesting markets for buying with the good potential for the upward movement. So just only it's better to get technical signals like we have now, the price reversal from one of the support lines, and it's better to get just positive fundamental factors which can support the market and push the price higher. If we talk about Apple, we have again we have the market which moves just I would like to say something like we can use this. We can use this downtrend line, and we can use this uptrend line. It is something like just very wide triangle, probably based on the weekly time frame. Yes, it's better to use weekly time frame, and we can see now that the market just moves in triangle chart pattern, which we can draw using the swing highs, swing lows. And now based on the weekly time frame especially, we have an attempt to break the resistance line of the chart pattern. Triangle, it can be the continuation chart pattern, or it can be a reversal chart pattern. It will depend on the direction of the breakout. Here in this case, the price can break the resistance line and confirm us that that triangle is the continuation chart pattern. This breakout can be used for buying in the long run and in the direction of the previous uptrend. But at the same time, as far as I remember, Apple doesn't look so solid from fundamental analysis point of view, because it is number one company in the world. As far as I remember, it is still the first company if we talk about capitalization, or close to the first. So they don't have too much space for developing their business. It means that for just increasing the value of their shares too much, they must to develop something new product. They must increase selling their current products. Do you think that Apple can increase the sales of iPhones? I don't think so. Do you think they can release a new product which can change the market? I also don't think so. So it means that probably the market is not far from its local top based on the fundamental analysis, and it is not far from the previous highs and historical highs if we talk about technical analysis. And it means that the market doesn't have too much space for the upward movement, but at the same time, so you can see the highest level was 234. Now we have the price 210, so $24 for the upward movement. Yes, the market of course can try to reach the previous high, and it will be possible, but buying at the current levels, it means what? It means that you will need to just protect your trade, placing stop orders below the local swing low, and it is too far from the entry level. You have you have a wide stop size, and even if you buy based on the breakout, too much space for the profit, and it means what? It means your risk reward ratio with trend market condition trades won't be so good, and it is rather risky. We could talk about buying based on the, let's say, based on the reversal from simple moving average with 100 periods. It was good for buying. Let's say here it was price 194.95. It was possible to buy, and yes, the stop size could be smaller and the space for profit could be bigger, or the perfect zone for buying was based on this reversal. And also you could see how much space you could have for the potential profit, because the local high, the historical high, could be just the one of the targets for profit, as profit targets. So the current levels just can provide you nothing interesting for trading. Maybe it is possible to think about just short-term trading based on lower time frames as a variant, and nothing more. Weekly time frame is not good for trading. Daily time frame doesn't look so good for trading. It's possible also to think about shorting, just if we talk about short-term trading, and if we talk about just intraday trading. Probably just the breakout below this level, this local uptrend line, can be used for selling with again only with stop orders, and I just remind you the cases when you can face with gaps, as the market just between two important support lines, levels, and resistance lines and levels, and the market can move upwards and at the same time it can move downwards. It's better to, so the market looks just more unpredictable and without just clear signals like only buy or only sell. Anyway, lower time frames can provide you both signals for buying and for selling, but also it's better to use low time frames for intraday trading, and try to avoid gaps, which can be if you stay with active trades for 1 or 2 days. So it's better, just if you don't want to make trading more complicated, it's better to skip this market and look at another markets which can provide more interesting trading opportunities than Apple. Apple now is not so good for trading, and it can be skipped. Let's say 2 hours and 7 minutes. Maybe it's time to end this stream. Just remind you one more time, don't use all this information just for following blindly. Use your own research, because only you can be responsible for your trading results, and it's better to use your own research also for growing your skills and experience in trading. Also, if you have any question about trading, about investing, this Wednesday I will do the best for making the next webinar, live stream, where we talk about different aspects of trading, investing, and money management. Write interesting questions below this video, or send them in TradingView, send them in our Discord channel, which you can also find below this link, below this video in the description, and we will talk about it during the next stream. If I don't get interesting question or any questions about trading, so next stream will be next Monday, and we will talk about markets, different markets, because maybe we will have something interesting during this week, and we will be able to discuss it. Thank you very much for staying with me during these 2 hours and 8 minutes. I wish you to have a profitable week, interesting week. Just if you just need something, if you want to share your opinion about these streams, about our channel, about our projects, services, and products, just leave them below these comments or in our Telegram channels. If you are new here, please subscribe to our channel, and also I will be grateful if you click like or dislike button, just to share your opinion about my work on YouTube. So thank you very much. Have a nice week. See you next time. Bye bye.